Hey guys, as we finish out this Friday, I thought I would just concentrate on two developments this week when it comes to COVID-19 in America, how the virus is spread, and the modeling we're using to help us forecast what COVID-19 will look like in America over the next several months. So let's talk about how the virus is spread. For the very first time this week, the CDC director put a number to the amount of people he thinks have the virus but don't know it and will never get sick. He thinks it's upwards of 25% of people out there that are asymptomatic, will never ever show symptoms, but can spread the virus. In addition to that, for the people that do get sick, the CDC now believes you could be contagious 48 hours, 2 full days before you even show symptoms. This is much longer than the flu. They believe it's up to a day before you show symptoms that you're contagious with the flu. So these two groups of people, those that are pre-symptomatic and those that are asymptomatic, are one of the reasons why there's this new conversation yet again about whether or not we should wear masks in public. Because it's a question of not only protecting ourselves, but making sure we're not unknowingly spreading the virus to other people. But this, again, large group of people that could never show symptoms or are walking around thinking they're not sick and that suddenly do get sick, are affecting the models, the data that we have, because they're not going to be included in the data right now. The data that we have right now is really people that are sick, that are going to the doctors and being tested for COVID-19. And because most of those people in America are in New York and New Jersey, the White House pointed out this week that that could be impacting the data because we only have the most data from those particular areas. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, Dr. Burke said something extremely important that didn't get a lot of attention. She said that there's more than 1 million tests that have been administered, but she only has 50% of the data. So there's a limited amount of data that the government is actually getting its hands on that's informing some of its thinking about the way this virus is working its way through America. So what's my takeaway from these two things? Think about a weather forecaster. A weather forecaster wants to be right, but the information they're getting on a storm is changing all the time. And that's very much the case here with the virus. So the forecast, the predictions that we're getting are only as good as the information, and the information, as we know, is limited. As the storm moves over different parts of the country, we're going to get more information with it. And that may or may not change the way that we look at COVID-19. But it's just important to keep in mind the limited nature of the data is still a major part of this story. It's one of the reasons why we have to rely on firsthand experiences. And I have a great interview with someone who was diagnosed with COVID-19. He tells us his story and also how he has created a solution in his community to help people stay employed and feed those in need. So that interview is coming up for you this weekend. In the meantime, questions, comments, let me know, and take care, guys. I'll see you soon.